All right, I asked and you told me. I asked a lot of college students that I was teaching virtually, what do you want to learn? And surprisingly enough, most of you answered salmon. I was shocked, but I'm gonna give you the best, easiest way to make salmon. Perfect every time, absolutely delicious. Meet me in my kitchen, I'll show you how to do it. So this salmon is perfect for date night, perfect for a quick weeknight dinner, and a way to take, a kind of regular fish up a level. So first thing we're gonna do, let's start preheating a large nonstick pan, which is one of the 5 essential things you must have in your kitchen. Stephen will post a link right here, right there to go to my 5 things you must have in your kitchen. One of them, big, large nonstick pan, and I'm gonna start heating up a little olive oil in this. I'm gonna go ahead, now could I just put this salmon in the oven and bake it? Yes. It's boring. I'm over that food. I want to get a beautiful sear on this. I want that pretty crust. You want that kind of golden flavor that makes it look gorgeous and gives it a little texture and caramelizes a little bit. So 2 fillets of salmon here. They're 6 to 8 ounces a piece. They're about a quarter, ½ inch thick right there. Nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna show you if you have really thick pieces of salmon, I'm gonna give you the instructions on how to cook those as well. But these are about a ½ inch thick there. Now, while this is getting hot, like I said, I have this about medium-high heat. Let's just season it up with a little salt and pepper. Using salt with our fingers, like always, nice and up high, even salt distribution. And let's go ahead and do a little fresh cracked pepper on here as well. Invest in a pepper grinder. It's a great thing to have in your kitchen. Now, I have the skin on my salmon. If you prefer it without, take it off. You don't have to have it. But for me, I like a little crispy skin on the bottom. Now, if you were to watch anybody else's salmon videos that are out there, most chefs will tell you to start with skin side down and crisp that up. Yes, technically you're supposed to do that, but honestly, I always do it with the flesh side first because I really like there to be a perfect golden crust on it, and I don't see that big of a difference to do it that way. So that's how I do it. You do you. So I'm gonna go ahead and gently place this in. Remember, we want a big sizzle. I'll take that sizzle right there. Here too, big sizzle. Now don't move them. Don't touch them. Let's prep our sauce. Let those hang out. We're gonna let these hang out for about 2 minutes or so, just to get that golden color. Then we'll flip them, crisp up the skin. Now, a lot of chefs do it with the skin side down first because they don't want it to curl up. I'm fine with it like this. It's heavy, it weighs itself, it'll be flat, it's fine. Okay, a few things we got going on here. First, let's get some garlic rolling here. I want 2 cloves of fresh garlic. If you can avoid using the pre-chopped garlic, please avoid that. You don't have to, it works. It works in a pinch. It's not my fave, especially for something like this that's so simple. It's only a few ingredients. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these cloves a little smashy smash here. That'll help take that skin right off and flatten them out so they're a little bit easier to chop. Oh, I love that sizzle. Now, what I love about this meal is that Steven's just gonna have to get through it because he hates seafood. He hates any kind of fish, seafood, any of that stuff. So I will not make him try this at the end. I have tortured him enough with my shrimp scampi video, which he said the shrimp scampi wasn't the worst thing he's ever had. So you should try it. That means it's amazing if he says it's not the worst. But my son Luke, who is convinced he is a YouTube star anytime he comes on this camera, says he will try it. He ain't gonna like it. We're gonna watch him pretend he likes it for YouTube. Throwing that out there. All right, so now this is flattened out a little bit. Let's just go ahead and run our knife through. Hearing a good sizzle going on over here. I just run my knife through. I got that little green dot in the middle, that little green stem. Can you see that, Steven? That little green stem right there in the middle. It's called the germ. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And then just go ahead and give this a good mince because this is going to be the base of our sauce. A little garlic, little lemon, little cream, little tarragon, all good stuff. I'm going to check on that once I'm done mincing up this garlic. And then on deck is going to be a little white wine. So you could just put the salmon right into the oven if you have an oven-proof pan, but I want to make the sauce while it's cooking. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I got a little baking dish here. I'm going to transfer the fish into there, let it roast off in the oven, call it a day. All right, how you doing here, my friend? See, look at that lovely golden color. Let's crisp up that skin real quick. See how it kind of shrivels up there? Can you see that? Watch, Steven, it's going to happen again. Take that, now watch it shrink up. Boop! That's why chefs put it in skin side first. I don't notice much difference, so I do it this way because it's pretty. All right, on deck. So I got my garlic. That's going in next. And then a little bit of white wine. So I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc. Anytime you're cooking with white wine and you're making a sauce, dry white wine. Sauvignon Blanc and like a Pinot Grigio. Skip the Chardonnay. Don't do a Moscato. Ugh. And just pick something you like to drink. It doesn't have to be like a $2 bottle of wine, but it doesn't have to be a $100 bottle of wine. Just find a medium, priced, a $6, $7 bottle of wine, white wine that you like. You'll drink it with it. All right, so now my skin has crisped up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the baking dish. And I'm gonna throw this in a 400-degree oven. Now, like I said, mine's about a 1/2 inch thick. So I'm guessing 8-ish minutes, 8 to 10. But if you have like a thick bad boy, like go at least 12 minutes. We wanna get this nice and pink in the middle, medium-ish temperature, nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna throw it in, do your thing. Now, I took this off the heat for just a second, let it cool down a little bit, because if I throw garlic in there screaming hot, it's gonna burn right away. So I'm turning that heat down to medium. I'm gonna add just a smidge more olive oil in here, because I wanna keep that salmon flavor in there. Got the little salmon flavor going on. Give that a little whirl around here. And now we'll get our garlic in, and this cooks fast. So I'm gonna have my wine ready to go to cool down that pan. Got a little sizzle. Grab one of my wooden spoons, of course. Another essential you must have. And I'm just moving this around, coating it in that oil. But I do not want this garlic browned. I just want it fragrant. I want it softened up and fragrant. So I watch it like a hawk. When it turns brown, that means it burns and it taints the whole dish. So this won't take long at all because that pan was hot. It's already ready to go. Adding a little wine, about a 1/2 cup-ish. Shimmy, shimmy. You don't have to light it on fire or anything like that. I just want to sink that down, let the garlic infuse. I'm gonna go ahead, I got a couple things on deck here. See how much is in there? It's already reducing down. So once it gets like a little bit less than that, where the garlic is barely swimming in it, we'll get in our broth. I also got a fresh lemon here. Now I'm gonna add in a 1/2 cup of broth. You can do veggie broth or chicken broth. I happen to make chicken broth this weekend in my Instant Pot. Another video, I think I pointed to an Instant Pot that's not there, but that's usually where I put it. Ding, it should be there. But I have a 1/2 cup of chicken broth because I just made it, so I'm gonna use that. All right, Steven, take a peek here. See how that wine is mostly gone? Just a little bit of a coating on the bottom of the pan there. Now we'll get our broth in there. Making a sauce, people. Let's get some fresh lemon juice in there. I'm gonna get my seeds out here. I'm gonna start with juice from a 1/2 lemon. We can always add more if we need to. I'm looking to freshen it up, but I'm not looking to make things sour, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Little bit of cream, I got some heavy cream here. Add that in. Just a little glug. And now let's let this just kind of simmer, come together, reduce down until it gets a little bit thicker, and then we'll add on the tarragon. Now, this is really what makes this dish so fantastic, is the tarragon. If you've never worked with tarragon before, oh, it's heaven. And people get weird about it because it has a licorice flavor, and what always happens? 9 out of 10 people in the room go, oh, I don't like licorice. Just trust me. It is so fantastic. It almost has like a basil mint licorice kind of hybrid. It's these long, pretty leaves, and it's a soft herb. So soft herbs are meant to be added at the end. We're not gonna add this in right now. We want to just have a light, fresh flavor, and it just adds a really beautiful back note and something different. Every time I add tarragon to anything, whether it's like a seafood salad or like a lobster roll or anything, people can't put their finger on it. What makes it different? It's the tarragon. I do marinades for fish with this and seafood. I do salad dressings with tarragon. It's a very underused herb. So all I'm doing is picking the leaves off, the fresh leaves off of here. Now, fresh tarragon, sometimes not the easiest thing to find always, depending on your grocery store. So you can always use a little dried tarragon in this if you prefer. If that makes your life easier, honey, and it keeps you out of a drive-through, just use dried tarragon. But the fresh really is special. Okay. Now, this is reducing down here, and what I'm looking for is right there. See how I'm running my spoon through and it's leaving a trail? Perfect. That's what we're looking for right there. I'm gonna let it reduce just a little bit more. We'll season it up. We'll throw salmon in there, and it's done. It's like the easiest dish ever. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna chop this up. Just kind of run my knife through real quick to break it up, just like the garlic. And back and forth. Oop, dropping my spoon. It's all right. Oh, can you smell it, Stephen, or no?
I can't really.
No? Oh, I love the smell. Do you like licorice?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, well, maybe you should try this salmon then. Okay, fine. Just think about it. I would like to say that a week ago, we taped my Caesar salad episode. It's the best Caesar salad ever. Make sure to check it out. But that was, I mean, Steven's been filming me for 2 years. That was the one recipe that made me legit in his eyes. Was the stupid Caesar. He loved it. He's already bought all the ingredients to make it this week. And I'm like, all right, well, if that's what it takes. All right, I'm adding in my fresh herbs now that this is reduced down. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little salt and pepper and then we'll season it up from there. Nice and up high. A little fresh pep. Give that a stir, give that a taste. Here, you focus on that while I grab a spoon. Smells good. All right, let's make sure we love it. Now, if you really wanted to gild the lily on this one, you could whisk in a couple of tablespoons of butter to add like a little richness, but I'm just gonna leave it, I'm gonna leave it simple today. But if you wanted to whisk in a little butter, that's how most restaurants finish their sauces. It makes it really glossy, thickens it up, but I don't feel we need it. Ooh, garlic, lemon, tarragon. It's savory. It's so savory. You see so many salmon recipes that are like a brown sugar glaze, a honey maple syrup glaze, all these kind of sweet on salmon. And this is what I wanted to give you something a little different because it's savory, but that little bit of tarragon adds a lot. I'm gonna check on my fish real quick. Yep, needs a couple more minutes. Steven's gonna cut back to me in just a moment when I pull that out, so you don't have to sit here and stare at me do nothing. Look at that sauce, thickened up, nice little savory glaze we got going on here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab out my salmon. Look how beautiful that is. That golden, it's nice and crispy on the top. The skin's gotten crisp. When I squeeze it on the sides, it's relatively firm, but it has a little give to it. So I know it's gonna be that lovely, like medium-ish, which is what you want. You know, everybody thinks salmon has to be well done because we've all had that really bad well done salmon, but no, you want it like luscious and pink and it just falls apart on you. And all I do is I'm gonna go ahead, I don't need a towel for that. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of nestle this back in. Get that sauce in there. I will sauce over the top a little bit. That's what I was gonna use that for. You come here, switch her out. Give that a little sauce over the top. Look how beautiful that is, just glazes it. Nice and savory. Serve this over rice, over pasta, over farro, over quinoa, over couscous. This over couscous is gorgeous. And I love it. Look how easy that was. Y'all wanted a simple salmon recipe that's amazing, and that's this. You can't mess it up. Steven, you could even do this if you ate seafood. Steven's gonna do it with chicken. It's kind of what I'm thinking is gonna happen next. Anyway, if you liked this recipe, or if you have any suggestions of something you would like to see moving forward, please put it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to share this if you don't mind. And go ahead and follow me on Instagram and on Facebook too, Chef Jyll's Shop. Thank you for joining me here, and I hope you love your salmon. Go eat it. Make it for a date. See you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye. You ready to do some YouTubing? Here, blow on it, and here, you give it a try. You can hold the fork if you want. It's a little warm, but let's see what you think.
Wow.
Let's try again. Okay. You should have better luck with that one. What do you think? Tell everybody.
I like it.
You do?
I like it.
Okay, what scale do you give it? What rating do you give it?
A 7.
Out of?
10.
A 7 out of 10. Want another bite?
Sure.
He is a YouTube star, people. Look at him right there. The things you do to be famous. All right. Yeah, so good, right?
I think that's my last bite.
That's your last bite. Okay. Thanks for playing. Tell everyone to subscribe.